What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing some more work on Wago. As you guys know, we got the new manifold on there, and a couple issues I have with this manifold is that the brake proportioning valve and the fuel lines come really close to the manifold. You know, it's not an issue with the manifold itself, but these are some things that I planned on relocating. And today we're actually going to be working on the brake proportioning valve right here. Get that guy out of the way, get it away from the hot exhaust manifold right there. And I was messaging Robert, if you guys remember, from Hush Performance when he came over and he helped do the brake booster delete kit on this thing. I was talking to him and I was asking if he had any sort of relocation kit for that, and he said he did. And then, you know, we just got to talking and he's like, well, I'm going to be in Denver in a few days, so I can just come over and help you knock it out. And I was like, hell yeah. So here he is.
That's what I do, man.
You know, he just comes right over and does it for us.
I've been out here quite a bit now, at least in Denver, several times.
Oh, yeah, because you technically got family out here now.
I do. I got married, and the wife's here, comes here quite often. So this is the EK style prop valve. These come different proportionings. So if you wanted one with rear discs, you would get that off an SI. That way it's got your proper proportioning. Well, what we're working on, what we really want to promote is using the OEM master cylinder as much as possible. It has dual outlet. That means that's the most safety out of any master cylinders that are out there. When we're talking about tucking, most of the tucks are using the single outlet master like a wheel would. One outlet. One outlet means if you happen to lose a line in any of your system, then that means you're going to lose
all your brakes
in all of the system. So if we have one with two, that's good, and we want to really start promoting those. We're going to mount this proportioning valve in the bay. It's really easy to install, relatively speaking, meaning most of the hoses are going to be inside the bay, and we can get to things. We don't have to necessarily go inside the car a whole lot. This one we do a little bit. Right here, the brake lines get fed from the prop valve in through the body, like an EK or an EG. These lines are underneath the car, and they're really easy to cut and flare into, like other brake line tuck kits are. But we still have to get into the bay so that we can tap into those lines. But those are the only two. The rest of them are going to be out here and relatively easy to install. So we're going to be modeling our EF kit to Kyle's car, which is cool. And you're trying to get this car ready for an event coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm looking to get it done by, you know, middle of February, because we're trying to make it out to Cletus and cars, and we're gonna see if we can get Wago out there, make some passes, have some fun.
Of course.
And this was definitely in our way, so.
Sure. Okay, I think to start this, we're gonna jack it up. There was some lines in there that we're gonna remove for your power steering.
Yeah, we got the old power steering lines. I'm not gonna be reusing any sort of power steering rack. I still have the rack on there, but I'm just not gonna hook up the lines. I do plan on trying to find a manual rack for this thing later on, but for now we're gonna get rid of those old power steering lines. You can see I taped them off back there. Get that out of the way.
Yeah, because I believe that's where we're gonna mount this guy. That'll give us plenty of room there. The EFs are crammed as it is, so we just need as much room as possible. And since you're not using power steering, and most of you guys racing these aren't using that as well, then this shouldn't be an issue.
And he brought all his little tools over to get the job done.
It's like a mobile shop. You know, this is all the stuff I use to make the hoses there in Phoenix, and well, it was easy enough to just shove it in the back of the truck and bring it out here. That way we can test the hoses too. Right here, so each hose is tested 3,000 PSI. We test those for 15 seconds each. We do it 3 times each hose. It takes quite a bit of time, but we know for sure that the hose is not gonna be an issue for you because it's a safety thing, and we wanna make sure you guys are good to go.
So Robert's making pretty good progress on Wago right now. He's pulling the turbo to get the shift linkage out of the way, because he needs to get down in there to get that, the prop valve mounted up and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
just getting lines ran.
Like right where these hoses, well, right where those cables are coming out. You can barely even see it.
Oh, yeah, like right down there?
Yeah, you can see where it's right
down there somewhere.
Like right there.
Oh yeah, you're going off that factory threaded.
Yeah, and so these ones are kind of tight, you know, and see how they're kind of twisted up right there? So it's kind of taking up a bunch of room.
Okay.
Well, with your new race cables, are going to be nice and, should be nice and tight.
We have the new K-Tune cables to throw on there, so we'll be able to reroute that. But yeah, so he's going to be relocating it down there out of the way. He already got the stock prop valve out of the way, got that guy out, and then he's going to be installing this nice little EK1 tucked out of the way, so we will have no more issues. And while he's doing that, I went ahead and lowered the cage back down in the MR2, and I'm gonna go ahead and start welding this thing up. So I'm going to try to get it a little lower than I have it now. I just need to finesse it some, but I got it to come down a few inches, and I think I can fit my TIG torch around each joint. But I'm at the point to where I'm ready to go ahead and weld around all of these, and then once these 4 joints right here are all welded up, I can suck it back up, and then I need to start prepping the area down around here to get these steel plates in there. All this carpet is like stuck on there from like old glue, so I need to get all that stuff out of the way. We can get our plates in there, and then once I get that done, we can go ahead and put our back bars in, and hopefully I can still get to those with everything in place. I'll double check before I push it up just to make sure I can still weld these on inside the car, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then we took the T-tops off because it's gonna make getting to these joints really easy. I can just go right there, so that is awesome. The T-tops came in really handy for that, but I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this knocked out. All right, so I got a lot more welded on the MR2's roll cage. I got these 2 front bars welded completely all the way around. I'm really happy with how those came out. And then I got some more welded on these back ones, but I didn't get these back ones all the way done because I need to run back to my house and get a different back piece for my TIG torch, because this one is still pretty stubby, but it's just long enough to where I can't really get into these back corners very good. And I have another one that is, you know, about an inch shorter than that, and that's all I'll need, and then I should be able to get in there no problem. So making more progress on the roll cage in the MR2, and Robert's over here making more progress on Wago. Looks like he has the prop valve in place and he already has a couple lines going to it. And I actually have to get out of here, but you said you're cool with staying to
absolutely
knock it out.
That's what I do.
I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I had some plans and we're kind of running tight on time, so he said he's just gonna stay here and get more of it done, and then he's gonna come back tomorrow to test everything out, make sure everything's working like it should. Then once I come back tomorrow too, I can grab everything I need to finish welding up that cage, get my other piece for my TIG torch, and go ahead and get that knocked out. But that's where we're at for right now. So I gotta head out for tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. All right, guys, so it is the following day, and Robert got all of the brake lines completely knocked out. Everything is ready to go, and we're just gonna kind of go over what he did. We actually just got done bleeding the brakes. I did help him with that. As you can see, all the wheels are off Wago right now, so we went onto each one and bled them all. So I was helping him hold the brake pedal, and I also went ahead and got the caliper thrown back on. If you guys remember, I've been slacking on that, but I finally threw the new brake caliper on there so we could check everything, make sure nothing is leaking. Triple checked everything, everything's solid, no leaks whatsoever, and it came out really good. As you guys can see, that back there is the factory EK proportioning valve that he put in there, and he made custom lines coming off the brake cylinder right there to go to that, and then that guy ties in over to these two, and those go to the back ones, right?
Yep.
Those go into the cab. He drilled some holes. You can see back here where those two come through, and then those guys run over here, and then he just tapped into the existing OEM brake lines. He just used a flare kit to tie into those. So that looks really nice. That's all going to tuck away under the floor piece right here, and it looks really nice and clean. So would this be considered a tucked brake kit? Or semi-tucked?
Yeah, I think so. So this version ideally is so that you could do it with the engine in and without having to go in through the firewall and then take your dash out. A lot of guys were doing that, and you know, we're guilty of it too. A lot of guys just like the way that it looks, but we're really trying to focus more on like OEM components and you know, keeping the fittings down, right? So like going inside the bay requires a lot of fittings in and then also out. So this kind of helps reduce.
There's more points for failure.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, because I know your other kit, you put all that stuff inside the car, so you can't see any of that.
Yeah, and that was kind of just modeled after what guys were already doing, you know. And when we entered this industry, we were just trying to provide a service, but you know, the more that we're in it, we realize those could be failures, and we're trying to reduce all of that, you know. So if we could keep it as OEM as possible, that's probably good. Matter of fact, if you have a car and you don't have to do this, then just keep OEM, because you know, those manufacturers, they've done their time, they've paid their dues, you know, they've
paid a lot of money in research.
Right. So they got it perfect. That's exactly how it needs to be. So if you don't have to touch them, just leave it.
Yeah, the only reason we did that is because it was coming really close to the manifold, so we had to do something about it.
Race cars require stuff, and that's stuff that you can't avoid.
But yeah, that's definitely going to clear up a lot of space. As you can see now, that valve is down there out of the way and not touching the manifold. So that is the main purpose of all of this, and it came out great. It looks super clean. Super happy with that. Robert did a great job, so once again, can't thank him enough. But yeah, guys, Wago's brakes are all ready to go. So that is one less thing we have to worry about. That stock prop valve is not anywhere near the exhaust manifold anymore. So one less thing to worry about. And I want you guys to do me a huge favor and go follow Robert at Hush Performance. Is his YouTube and Instagram as well, correct?
You got it, man.
Go follow Hush Performance. Can't thank him enough for coming down to help get Wago up and going. And yeah, because I had no idea how to do this. So I know it's his kind of specialty. He had all the fancy tools and just came and knocked it out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Yep.
It was a good learning experience for sure. I hadn't done a wagon yet, and this is something.
Yeah, so you got some info out of it as well.
For sure. Yeah, it was definitely a good learning experience, that's for sure.
Hell yeah. So can't wait to get Wago up and going, guys. So I'm just gonna throw this together in a quick little video. You know, we didn't really schedule for this to happen. He literally just showed up like a couple days after he messaged me.
Hey,
so
I want something. Yeah, well, I'm gonna be in town, so let's get it done.
So we decided to knock it out this weekend, and now Wago has a little tucked brake line kit. So yeah, really happy with how it came out, and that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.